Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Today is Monday. It is the 25th day of January. It's National Florida Day. So happy Florida Day, everybody.
Nice.
National Irish Coffee Day today.
I like Irish coffee.
Heidi's family, everybody in her family, big fans of Irish coffee. For those of you that don't know what Irish coffee is, well, you got to be an adult to drink Irish coffee. It's also National Opposite Day. So this is a day where you're supposed to tell people, I don't like you, but it really means I love you, all that stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. And it's National Bubble Wrap Day, which
I like bubble wrap.
I've always liked bubble wrap.
It doesn't really pop anymore.
Not like it used to.
No.
Yeah, it used to be really, really cool. Hey, you know what? I'm so excited. My guest today for Movie Star Monday, Frank Stallone.
Ah, yeah.
I'm so excited to chat with him. The funniest thing is, we just watched the movie Fred Claus, and it's one of the funniest scenes in that movie is a
Frank
scene
Stallone in it.
with Frank Stallone,
Great.
Roger Clinton, Stephen
Great,
Baldwin.
cute movie.
And it's a sibling support group.
Yeah,
So
it was really funny.
I'm going to ask him a little bit about that. But he's got a really cool new project. I watched the trailer for this. It looks really good. It just came out. I should actually watch it. It's called Stallone. Frank, that is. And it's like the true story of his life. It's a documentary, and I'm excited to chat with him all about it in just a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Researchers at Oxford University found there is no limit to the benefits of exercise to the heart. So the more active you are, they say, the better it is for your heart, and you could actually live longer.
Of course.
That's a good thing. So I'm glad they did a little research on that, because now I'm going to exercise more.
It's absolutely accurate. I don't know why we needed
And here's an interesting thing. Have you ever used Google to visit Facebook? According to data, 43% of online users say they'll use that little search box to type in something like Facebook. So instead of just typing in Facebook up on the top, they'll actually search for Facebook and then go to Facebook. Have you ever done that? I don't do that.
No, I usually just type in. I
Up on the
start
top?
typing in Facebook on the
Yeah,
top, and
that's
then
the
it
thing.
would take me there.
So
I don't go
43%
there near as
go
often
to like
anymore.
Google, and then they'll type in the website they want. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. Thanks for listening. I'm very confused. Thanks for listening to surveys and studies and such on the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Czechoslovakia. A guy got himself locked inside of a pizzeria there just so he could have free access to the beer overnight. Restaurant staff left. He broke into a cooler containing a keg, disconnected the pipes leading to the tap, then put them in his mouth and drank as much as he could. The man got himself pretty darn drunk, and then he fell asleep.
He did.
He was found by an overnight cleaning crew. The man now gets to pay for the beer that he had a chance to drink. So you might be thinking, what a brilliant idea, but as it turns out,
Not such a good idea.
probably not such a brilliant idea. I don't think I would want to do that. Would you want to?
You're not a drinker.
Well,
anyway.
no, but even if I was, would you want to lock yourself in there? Because how would you get out then? What was his plan on getting out of there?
Probably getting out the next morning when somebody showed up.
I don't know.
guess.
Either way, it's
bad idea.
It is a bad idea, but that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. A Canadian reporter was harassed on live television by a man who was driving by in a car and shouted a bunch of obscenities while they were on live TV. So
funny.
that's not nice, by the way. Don't do that. Meanwhile, we should check and see where Heidi was. Justin Timberlake confirmed to Ellen DeGeneres that he and Jessica Alba welcomed a second child. So congratulations to them.
That's nice.
And Kelly Rohrbach, the star of Baywatch remake, showed off her bikini bod while strolling the beach of Santa Monica.
That's cool.
That's news somehow.
I guess.
Now you know. Thanks for listening. It is the Big Screen, Little Screen report brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. Very bizarre thing here. It says, according to a report, the number of death row inmates in prison over the age of 60 is growing. So I'm not sure exactly why that is. I don't know if...
I have a theory, but you won't let me talk about it.
I know I'm not going to let you talk about it. Because you said it and then you laughed maniacally, which makes me think that's going to probably upset some people. But so I don't know if they're when they're getting to death row, they're already over the age of 60, or if they become 60 while they're on death row. Either way, weird story. Moving over here. In Turkey, a man stopped to help the victim of an accident that involved two motorcycles and a truck. After putting a splint on the victim's broken leg, and then, the police were on the way and an ambulance and everything, the man went on his own way. Short time later, a teenager smashed into his vehicle. He ended up in a hospital in the same room right next to the guy that he helped like 2 hours before. How weird is that?
That is crazy.
He's like, how'd you get here? Well, I was in this terrible accident. Some nice guy stopped and put my leg in a splint. He's like, that was me. And then I got in an accident too. So apparently it's...
Oh, good deed goes unpunished.
Apparently it's dangerous on the roads in Turkey. Now, we've heard of cutting the cord, and that's a thing. A lot of people walking away from cable. But now... There are a lot of people that are in this world of subscription streaming services that are getting more and more streaming packages.
Yeah.
So now there's a thing called stream slashing, which we did. They say that they think this is going to be a thing someday where consumers look at their entertainment budget and decide enough is enough, and they're going to have to figure out which streaming services they keep. We just did that. So they're predicting that that's going to be a thing. We did do that.
Yeah.
It says no one yet knows, but they think the typical household would probably keep at least 4 or fewer paid streaming services.
Yeah, we have fewer.
Yeah, we have fewer than that. Mm-hmm. Thing I got to say, and they're not a sponsor or anything, but I want to just say there's some really cool things that are available at no charge. Pluto is one, which sounds weird, but Pluto, Pluto, Pluto TV. And it's a free service, and we've watched that, and there's a bunch of channels on there. We were clicking through that the other day, and I was just going, look at all these things. It's all of this available. Like there's so much content. And then Crackle, I think, is another one. And I think Peacock is another one. There's a bunch of them. So anyway, like I said, that's not what this is about. We'll move on. A third Monday in January, which turns out I missed this story by a week. So this is the fourth Monday. But the third Monday in January apparently is a bad day. It's the most miserable date on the calendar to promote a vacation company. The psychologist and self-styled freelance happiness guru chose this date based on mathematical formulas involving weather and debt and motivational levels and time since Christmas and all of that. But anyway, they came up with this. They crunched the numbers to figure out what day is the most depressing day.
Really?
And it was 1 week ago today.
I wonder why.
I don't know why.
Trying to think if I was depressed that day.
It says the third Monday in January should be a day that we get a little perspective on our life, but it's not a good day to plan trips or to promote any of that kind of stuff. So I don't know exactly why that is.
Interesting.
But they crunched the numbers. They being the key phrase, not me. So I don't know nothing. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
It's another Movie Star Monday, and our guest today is Frank Stallone. He's got a brand new documentary out. It's called Stallone. Frank, that is. Mr. Stallone, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited about the release of the documentary, and hope people will enjoy it as much as we did making it.
I watched the trailer, and this looks fantastic. You're a talented actor. You're a talented singer. But it says here you're the most famous unknown person in Hollywood. What in the world does that mean?
And, that's a hard thing to do, so I kind of bow to that. That's pretty good.
Well, I think a lot of folks know you for acting and for music, but if you had to pick one of the two, which would it be?
Yeah, music, absolutely. I mean, I started in music when I was professionally at 15, so music was always my thing. And then because of the music, then the acting came, and I kind of learned on the job,
You were in a scene that was just a hilarious scene. We just recently watched Fred Claus, and the sibling support group scene is hilarious. How did that whole thing come about?
Well, because, Vince Vaughn was doing it. It was a big studio picture, and, I like Vince, and I know Stevie Baldwin. So we got there, and it was very interesting. Vince goes, so we looked at the scene, he goes, well, let's go over here, let's work on this a little bit. And he has a good sense of comedic timing, and so it turned out to be a different scene than that was written, and I think it worked out great. And I think the director, after the movie didn't do as well as it should, I think it's a fun movie.
It is.
But he said we should have kept you guys, because he said we should have kept your scene longer, because there was a lot more funnier stuff in the scene. It was really good. But what are you gonna do? That's showbiz.
In addition to being a singer and an actor, you're also a boxer, and I know a lot of folks know about a bout between you and Geraldo. But how long had you actually been a boxer?
Oh, well, I started in the early 70s. I've been boxing almost 30 years. I mean, when you get to a certain age, you don't get hit in the head anymore. I wouldn't even remember making this movie at that point. But I've always loved the sport of boxing. It helped me out a lot with some insecurities I had when I was younger. I really like the people involved in boxing. I don't like it as much now as I used to, because everything is preconceived and stuff like that. But I enjoy doing it, and but I was playing music my whole life, and my managers are always afraid I was going to get hit in the throat. And I go, you know what? They're right. I was kind of silly. I mean, I could have gotten hit in the throat, and that would have been it for Frank Stallone,
Now, in the new documentary, Stallone, Frank that is, we see your brother Sylvester in there, but we also see people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and other big names from music, Richie Sambora and John Oates. There's a lot of big names in this, and these people absolutely love you, Frank.
Well, we have Danny Aiello, we have Frankie Avalon, we have Geraldo Rivera, Joe Mantegna, Billy D. Williams, Chris McDonald, Stephen Bauer. So there's quite a, Talia Shire, Burt Young. So there's quite an array of people. And then also, my first bandmates from the 60s, and some who I hadn't seen in 50 years, believe it or not. So it's actually very satisfying, because I wasn't involved in any of the interviews. I stayed away on purpose, because I just wanted an honest opinion of what they thought. That's what I really wanted, and I think we achieved that.
Well, you've had an absolutely amazing career, and like any career in show business, there are some highs and there are some lows.
Yes, there are. I mean, no one promised me that it was going to be easy. I mean, this is one of the toughest. I mean, show business, whether acting or music, is one of the toughest fields you can go into, because 97% of it is rejection, or failure to get a part, or so you got to give a lot of respect for people like Rod Stewart and guys like that have had, or the Stones, like 50-plus year careers with a lot of hit records. You got to give them, a lot of credit. Billy Joel, people like that. It's not easy to stay on top. You can get one hit record, but then can you go? I think the problem in my situation is I never had a strong team. I never had any mentors. I never kind of on my own. And my managers were lovely people. They were like my good friends I'd known for years. But they just couldn't make it on that theater, the bigger arena. They just couldn't move it. I think if I've had someone like an Irving Azoff or David Geffen, it was in a whole different story, because there would have been a strategy and a plan. And when you're young like that, you don't have any sense of mortality or anything. So that's kind of the situation that was.
Again, our guest today has been Frank Stallone. Frank, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, well, thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Again, the new documentary is called Stallone, Frank that is. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most, and addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The feeling we get lost inside of a mall, that's actually called the Gruen transfer. Gruen, or the Gruen transfer. You've heard of casinos designed deliberately to disorient people? That's all part of that as well. There's a similar strategy behind shopping malls. The Gruen transfer is a phenomenon named after an Australian architect, Victor Gruen, who identified how intentionally confusing shoppers and laying out your store that way will get people to spend more time, therefore spending more money. And then later he came to disavow that approach. He said, no, we never said that. Because they named it after him and they're like, well, that's kind of evil. Your little trap to get people to spend more. He's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Now you know. This is today's fun fact. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline, Switzerland. According to this, Switzerland is going to hold a direct vote on removing the government's legal authority on lockdown orders. So they're saying, we're going to let the people decide. Can we tell them they can't leave their house anymore? How do you think that's going to go?
I think the people are going to say, you can't tell us.
Somebody online said there's an outside chance this might pass. And then they put in quotes, outside, because people want to get outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, that sounds like one of my jokes. You got to explain it. All right, this is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Japanese brewery canceled the release of a new beer because the can had a misspelling on it. So they offered free samples of the beer, and they said, hey, we're going to give away a bunch of product for free because, well, we messed it up. So the new beer
That's nice.
was scheduled to be released. Well, keep listening, because it was scheduled to be released at a place called Family Mart, a large chain of Japanese convenience stores. The company called off the release because of a, quote, embarrassing error on the cans. Here was the big embarrassing error. The word lager, L-A-G-E-R, was spelled lager, L-A-G-A-R.
Okay.
So there was a goof on the spelling.
That's not a big deal.
But because of all of the press that they got because of the error, now people are trying to find this and they want to get it. So they decided, you know what? Maybe we will sell it, because they had already said, we're going to just give it all away free.
Okay.
We want people to just drink it for free. And now they're saying, no, now we're not gonna. We're going to sell the beer. But we're not going to do it yet. We're going to wait till February. So I don't know exactly. They just want more free press, and we just fell into their trap.
Yes, you did.
I did. But it is today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. 3-time convicted burglar Joshua Harris left something behind at a Chicago crime. Front door, intercom rang, Wicker Park residence apartment. A male voice said they were looking for Ray. Then they heard a door buzz. The call dropped off. Minutes later, 2 other building residents were in their bedroom when they heard footsteps. One of them looked out and saw Harris rifling through a purse on their sofa. Startled to see somebody in the apartment, Harris bolted out the door, and the victim ran after him. Outside, the resident flagged down a passing car and climbed in. According to prosecutors, the driver continued the pursuit until Harris, age 27, ran into a nearby hotel. Police detained Harris on the hotel's 7th floor for a few minutes. That's when a second roommate showed up carrying a phone that, against all odds, had a picture of Harris
funny.
as its lock screen. The burglar had dropped it in the apartment, the woman told
funny.
police. He was charged with residential burglary.
Good.
So, what a bizarre...
Sounds like a movie.
It does.
It's an action
But they
packed.
chased him down.
Yeah.
Can you even imagine
That's
that?
pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy. It is today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. How about this one? Fake news or Florida? A Miami grandmother was fined for playing her music too loud. She had Cardi B playing at an extremely high volume at 11:45 p.m. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
It is fake news. How did you know that? How'd you guess?
Because Cardi B writes music for women who like to shoplift at yard sales.
Would you just stop it? Well, maybe this
Not
grandmother
for 63-year-old.
It didn't have an age. It could have been anybody. All right. You got it right this time. It is fake news or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. Once again, your opportunity to bring some good news into the world. Giftcardchallenge.org. Here's a headline. Trooper rescues woman from submerged vehicle in a freezing river. What a cool story. Montana Highway Patrol trooper saved a woman from a vehicle that was submerged in the Yellowstone River. This sounds like a scene out of a movie. Trooper Connor Wager, W-A-G-E-R, might be Wager, entered the icy water after responding to a rollover crash just south of Emigrant. It says after arriving on the scene, he found there was a vehicle on its roof, the front end completely submerged into the river. Wow. The driver was trapped inside the vehicle and water was nearly freezing. That's when he tethered himself with a rope and entered the water, making his way through the fast-moving current to the overturned vehicle.
Wow.
The strong current prevented the rear hatch from opening, so he broke through a rear window with a rescue tool and pulled the woman out of the car.
Hero. Absolute hero.
With the help of first responders on the shoreline, that's when the trooper and the victim were able to make it safely back to shore, where the driver was treated by EMS. Trooper, by the way, was treated for minor injuries and released. And you can see images of this in the show notes. I've got a link to this. What a story. Holy cow. There are times I'll go through the day and I'll wonder, did I make a difference today? That's one of the things you got to say about the men and women who go out and do what this gentleman does. First responders, they don't have to wonder at the end of the day, did I make a difference? They know absolutely made a difference. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.